Hey there, everyone. Daniel Lowrie with Antisyphon Training here to talk to you a little bit today about note-taking and documentation and the importance of it and why it's good for you and it doesn't suck. Now, you might be saying to yourself, note-taking is kind of a mundane thing there, Daniel. It's not that great. It, on the surface, can seem that way, but there are a few key reasons why I would implore you to make sure you're taking good notes and creating great documentation, because it's going to benefit you. It might even benefit your team. Heck, it may even benefit the entire world. It happens from time to time. You never know when that might be the case. Now, let me give you some of that rundown, right? Let's start off with yourself. You watch a YouTube video. I've done it. I know I sure have. You're trying to learn something new. Maybe you take a class or a training session. Maybe you sit through a webinar. All great ways to learn stuff. But if you're just sitting there passively and taking it in, you're going to retain some things. But if you're taking good notes, you're going to retain a whole lot more. And that's one of our major reasons why we want to take notes. Retention, that, couple it with also better understanding. A lot of times when you do things on a multi-tier level, you're taking things in passively, but you're also writing them down. That can increase both your understanding and your retention of that knowledge. So this is probably one of the apex reasons on why you should take both good notes and eventually turn that into some form of documentation. And it can help you retain not only the key information, but you'll have a good reference on your shelf for that more esoteric type of information as well. Stuff that you don't do on the everyday. Now I'm going to show you a little where I created some notes on cross-site scripting. I thought this was just to kind of give you an example, a taste of what some note-taking might look like. Now these can be more or less filled out. You can give it more detail, less detail. Again, most of the time notes are for yourself. I would highly recommend adding more detail. And in here, I just kind of went through the different types of cross-site scripting attacks, the common targets against them, and the impacts on them using a specific type of note-taking. Now, there are many types out there, and we can get to that later in this series. All right, I went out and grabbed some notes from someone who took one of John Strand's Antisyphon courses, right? This is from the SOC Core Skills course. And they wrote all their notes out. And again, your note-taking style may vary, but we see that writing these notes down is going to be, again, a great reference, not just for themselves, but now we can go and look at them because they did the nice thing and put it out on the internet for us. So very, very cool, right? You can take notes in a variety of different ways. Again, we'll talk about that in another episode. Now, let's move on because there are other good reasons on why you should be taking great notes. And another one is problem solving. Problem solving is a phenomenal reason to have good notes. I don't want to have to go through the hard stuff. Again, sometimes a lot of problems can be very complex, very difficult in nature. And man, if you don't take a really good set of notes on that, the next time you encounter it, guess what's going to happen? You're going to forget. You're going to go, oh no, I don't remember how to do that. And you're going to have to go through the same process of finding the answer yet again. But if you had a good set of notes that you're ready, guess what? That's not going to be a problem. And again, if you make that kind of thing available for everyone, or maybe out in the cloud or something like that where you're hosting it to where it's easily accessible, that's going to be awesome because then you can read those notes from anywhere. Let's go take a look. I've got some other notes, like here's one here about solving printer problems. So a multiple language PDF doesn't print, and you can see that they give you really good detailed explanations on what to do, what to try, and what should be and should not be happening. Another great one here, I have this article from Connecting Your, this is from Minnesota State University. They've got an article here on a set of notes, a document for how to connect your dorm internet. Probably a lot of people have that very question. When they get in their dorm first day, they're ready to connect to the internet. Oh no, I don't know what to do. There is the documentation. It helps everyone. Now, that moves us back to our reasoning. Why is documentation, note-taking very essential and good for us? Collaboration. That's right. We help others. We help ourselves, our peers, our mentors, maybe just random people on the internet like you and me who could really use the help when it comes to connecting our dorm internet. You never know, right? So it's going to foster a shared understanding so everybody kind of reads from the same sheet of music and understands exactly what we're all talking about. And that makes for more efficient teamwork, especially if you are working in a team, if you're already in a cybersecurity job or just an IT job in general. You probably got a few people on your team that help out and do day-to-day things. You create a piece of good documentation. Well, now nobody's having to reinvent the wheel. Hey, I already know how to do that, Bob. Let me point you to the doc. Go read that, show you exactly how to do that. Hey, Billy, didn't you make some document about how to connect those printers? Excellent. Let me get that from you. Oh, it's in our intranet site. It's on a SharePoint. Excellent, right? So again, collaboration with other people, gonna be great. That leads us to our last point, professional developments. Another one that kind of points inward for us can be really helpful. Notes become documentation or technical documents. So we start there. We start with our notes. And then we go, you know what? This was super helpful for me. And you probably refine them. You change them over time. And you go, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and create an actual document for this and set it out there for the world. Now, I'm not going to make it all full of grammatical mistakes and everything like that, because you know what? You can actually put this kind of thing on a resume. You will have to take those notes and make them clearer, more concise, and more useful. But at the end of the day, if you can prove a skill, that is, I'm good at written communication, I'm good at creating documenting of procedures, that is something you can stick on a resume and something that a lot of jobs are looking for. Let's go back to our browser here, and we can see there's a cybersecurity analyst job. Strong ability to work effectively in a team and to communicate verbally in writing with both external and internal customers. They like to see stuff in writing and that it looks good. Here's another one, IT specialist, desktop and network support. Assess, process, and create and update policies as applicable. Got one more for us, right? In the job space, there it is. Documents, this is a cybersecurity engineer, documents all parts of security incidents or breaches. Moving into that cybersecurity space, you'll see that all these things, they want to see documentation. You can also contribute to things like open source projects. Here's opensource.guide / how to contribute, right? Do you like to write? Write and improve the project's documentation like this person did. Curate a folder of examples showing how the project is used. Start a newsletter. Write tutorials. Again, that's kind of like documentation. Write a translation if you're able to do that. Again, more documentation. People love good documentation. And you probably do too if you sit back and think about it. So this is a really great skill. So like I've kind of mentioned, we're going to do a couple of episodes on how to take good documentation, maybe some methods and tools that you can use for documentation, and a few resources for you out there as well. That said, I hope to see you there. And until then, have a great day.